Well, we're here today with Jon Petz. Jon Petz is a motivational speaker and MC. I'm sure he has a better title than that, but those are the titles that I'm giving for now. And I would just like to welcome Jon in today to talk with Winking with Wagner and to have a radical vision. Thank you for joining us, Jon.
I am so ready to wink with Wagner. Thanks. This is going to be a fun day. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, tell me, Jon, I have some softball questions, so this is an easy one. What would you say is the biggest factor in your success? And that's probably not a softball.
Well, I mean, I have questions to back that up, like define success. Why do you, what? All right, I'll answer the question. I'll just answer your question.
How do you define success?
You know, I've defined success as being content with some of the success you've had, yet being excited for future opportunities and what might come next. Success, I mean, I think there's family success, financial success, faith success. There's more. There's like two more F's because someone wrote that. It was a really good thing that they wrote. But if I had to attribute stuff to it, I think genuine. I'm very genuine and authentic with my clients, and that leads to a lot of rebookings. I mean, literally, the longest one's probably 16 years. I've been year after year after year.
Really?
I think truly exceeding expectations, giving them more than they expected, more than they bargained for. Always, giving that extra moment and making things happen. Certainly, I think having a good product has to come with it. I'm confident in my product, always improving my product, but genuine, authentic, going an extra mile, to use that old age analogy, but truly. And yeah, is that helpful?
Absolutely. So what do you attribute
the if that was your softball, I'm thinking, geez, this is gonna be a tough day. You said it was gonna be a fun day, and now it's gonna be tough.
Sorry, man. So tell me about the 16 years with one client. What do you think has it been just that, the authenticity, or the easy to work with? Is there something else that has made them a long-standing client?
When I say we, I mean myself, I hired a production company. This is an event we've grown from probably 7,000 to 30,000 people over the course of that time frame. We've made them a lot of money. I've become a part of the planning team, so I direct the show. I understand what we're trying to accomplish. I'm involved with them throughout the year. We finish year one. We're already working on the next year's. So that's how that's come together. It's been a tremendous amount of work, but I understand it, and I'm just really embedded in. We're partners. We're building this event together and making the most money that we can for it's a nonprofit.
Okay. So what are some of the key tactics or practices that you keep coming back to after all these years of doing what you're doing?
The key practices or tactics I come back to for sales, for business overall, for the presentation? Or what?
Business overall.
Number one key tactic, I am me on stage and me off stage. Another word of authenticity. And I think in the world you mentioned, from an MC or from a speaker or even the magician, the entertainment side, you meet a lot of people and they're one way on stage, and maybe you see them in the airport and they don't know who you are, and people talk and they notice those things, and you're a face of that event. You're the brand of an event for your client. So I'm me. I act sometimes I'm fun on stage, I hope, and I continue to have that characteristic off stage when I interact with people, no matter where I am, because I never know who is watching.
Right.
But that's
so. What do you do? What do you do every day to bring you clarity?
Not enough would be my answer. To bring clarity, I guess I bring clarity of tasks that need to be done. I do the to-do list. I know those are outdated, but clarity in my vision, I would say, not enough. I think one of my biggest challenges, Brian, is I can get distracted. I don't so much chase shiny objects, but sometimes I have a lot of projects going, and I get distracted and jump back and forth between two. So what I need to do better for clarity is have these two tasks or what has to get done today, and focusing on my client objectives, not only my own objectives, but really making that connection for my clients.
What do you think the next level of success, whatever success is to you, what does the next level of success look like for you?
No, I have that. I like that question. That's an easier softball one because I had a plan for that. I mean, the next is lessening the number of events, and to a standpoint. I mean, I do 75 events. Well, let's just clarify where we are. I used to do 75 events a year. We're doing them in a different manner now, but I would travel, and that, you could do a whole lot more in this manner than I ever could traveling to different cities and doing events. Not a lot, like a ton less events, but doing the ones that I really want to do and not doing the ones that I feel I have to do because, hey, it's business. I got to drive revenue. My business builds upon itself. If I do 50 shows a year, I haven't in the past had to make calls my business comes from my audience. It's referral, it's repeat, so doing those that I really like, the 16-year one, the ones that I've been back to 8 years in a row, doing the ones for the clients that I love, and maybe not so much the major project one-off ones.
Yeah.
So doing the fun of it then we're back to all the fun. I have a ball with what I do, but keeping it fun and doing for the true purpose and passion, helping other people.
Obviously, yeah. So obviously you have a lot of work, a lot of events that you do. But when you're not doing events and you're not planning for events, what do you do to recharge?
I play Xbox with my kids.
What's your favorite game?
No, the people are going to judge me if I tell you my favorite. It's a shooter game, run around and, get goblins and you be the winners and get the bad guys.
All right. I'll let you go with that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spending time with my girls, and it's hard when you're on all the time. You need that decompressed time and just not brain dead time, but just not worry about thing time. Yeah.
Yeah. So in those times, and even when you're working, who do you have in your corner? I'll just say that holds up your mirror to show you your blind spots.
I would say there's several people that are willing to call out my blind spots, I think is a even more aggressive way of asking that. Would that be true? Like someone who would tell me, like, hey, you missed this?
Sure. Yeah.
Definitely some people in my speaker friend circle. You know Mark Henson. Mark Henson's been a wonderful person who has called out my blind spots and willing, I'm confident and comfortable enough with who I am and his opinions. And I think we all have people like that. Our mastermind group, there's some people who would be willing to tell me, listen, you did this post and that's not within your brand. That's happened. But a blind spot of things I could be doing better, I would think of those same people. People who really understand who I am, and that you hear about, I just love the people. I care about people wanting to feel good about themselves, and the people that really believe that I want that, those are the people that are honest and truthful with me and will tell me if I'm doing something that doesn't live up to that brand.
Do you have people, are these people that you've all known for a while? Are they newer people to you?
Some are. Mastermind, the Mastermind's been a group been around for multiple years, 5, 6, 7 years. That group, Mark, I've known for 18, 19 years. Winking with Wagner, I've known you for several years. You wouldn't hold back. You'd tell me something if I needed to hear it. But there's also, and I think it's important, you meet people at different points in your life. And I actually had a conversation about this today. And I said, it's amazing that we've only known each other a couple years and we have this depth of a conversation, to be comfortable with that. But when you meet someone in different phases of your life and you connect in that manner, I think it just kind of opens up and happens if there's that level of trust, which has to be created. But I think it could happen in a short period of time for folks like that too. It doesn't have to be a 30 or 20 or 10, whatever person. It could be 6 months. Could be 30 days. Could be an hour.
Over time, how do you stay steadfast?
I got to look up steadfast in the dictionary. Re-ask that. What's the better way?
How do you stay focused on your vision?
Staying focused on
First of all, let's ask the question. What is your vision?
You know, my vision is to not exponentially grow my practice, my business. My business is fruitful and rewarding. My vision is to continue to maintain the level of business that I have and increase it with, like I said, some of the better things that are the right fit for me. And the focus to continue that is staying in touch with my clients and letting them know what I'm up to and maintaining a relationship. It's not generally a one and done for me for events. Even if it is a 1 hour keynote, there are people I stay in touch with when I land in their city. It's a quick text. It's keeping and maintaining relationships, because return on relationship for me and my business is the #1 driving factor of what I do.
So that's how you stay steadfast, is maintaining relationships.
I do. That's the answer, then that's the answer you want. That's what you get. I maintain work, and I think work on relationships, build them, invest in them. You know, we think, here's one of my lines, as you may know. I think a lot of people think to succeed in business, you have to conquer relationships. But you'll soon find out that a mutually beneficial relationship is not something you conquer. It's a series of simple moments that are significant to the people you serve. So understanding what's important to other people, how they like to be reached out to, what's, with their family, is it their pets, is it their job, and deliver some unexpected moments at unexpected times. Those simple moments that have meaning to them in the manner that's personal to them. That's key.
Okay. Oh, that's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tell me, in the Jon Petz household, what does your morning routine look like when you're on the road or in
Well, I was going to say that is so. Today it varies. Today I was running by 6:30 at the park. I did my run, did my push-ups, my sit-ups. That isn't every day. What do I love to do? I love to get up. I don't always drink coffee, but I like having a cup of coffee. I'll sit if it's warm enough or it's nice out. I'll go on the back patio and sit, and I look at the stocks. I follow the stock market all the time. So the typical morning, I am not a jump up and typically be working at 6:30 a.m. I do have a slower start to the day, but it gives me a little bit of time to focus on what we want to accomplish that day. Prioritize those things a little bit, and then jump in and build.
What portion of your day do you typically? Now, I know this changes, but typically in COVID times, which we're in.
COVID times.
Right. Isn't that great? COVID times. What portion of your day is spent creating? What portion of your day is spent thinking, imagining, and what else do you do?
I would think on a normal day, depending on what project, there's a lot of projects going on right now. So I'm in hustle mode and script writing mode and planning mode and telephone mode and connecting with other speakers to plan their intros and their outros and my own keynotes. I'm in a lot of production mode right now. In terms of creativity and imagining, more so, and it used to be Friday afternoons and now it just depends, but that was when I would get out of the office, I would go to a coffee shop, I would go to Whole Foods because of the Whole Foods story experience I had, and I would sit there, and I'm not allowed to look at email, which is painful and hard. You can't. It's just and write and journal and just look for opportunities for new content and new perspective. So it's more so not every day, but a hopeful planned focus on a weekly basis to plan creativity time, because we never really plan for that, and that's a key to what we do.
Yeah, that's That's very insightful because most of my creativity comes by accident. It just comes from happenstance, different things that happen during the course of the day in my life. So, that's allowed me to be creative. But I can see how having that focused journal time would be very important.
It's been helpful for me. And even in COVID time, I mean, that's one of the things that Neil Periska wrote a good book about the equations to happiness and the 5 things that we can do to scientifically proven, I believe, to be more happy. And one's, I'll forget all 5 now, but I mean, it's taking a walk, but journaling, trying to write to yourself and write and you can get your emotions, your feelings, your fears, your concerns, your hopes, your opportunities, and getting them out there. Even if it's only to yourself, it's still a way of kind of capturing that essence of that passion and purpose of what you do.
Neil Periska, how do you spell that last name?
Parischa. I worked with him probably a couple of years ago. Great speaker. He's got a couple of really great books. Happiness Equation #1. Yeah.
All right, that's good to know. What are you a reader?
In phases. I am not doing enough right now, but I do enjoy it. It depends, on travel. Airplanes was a better opportunity. That was kind of some of my read time. What I would do is on the way to the event, I work on the way to the event, and on the way back, I read and I do personal stuff. But I've not taken advantage enough of it recently during COVID times, coined by Winking with Wagner.
That's Brian with one eye. You can call me whatever you want. So what do you have open now? A book that you're still in the middle of, or are you thinking about one?
I started the next edition to Significance in Simple Moments, which I'd hold one up if I had one here. It's not important, but and it's actually more of a journaling type book. So it's Significance in Simple Moments is relevant to what I said before about how we don't conquer relationships. We build these simple moments at a time. And how do you identify, how do you deliver those moments, and how do you appreciate them? So helping people, once you've had that book, just have that 1-minute reflection a day of what am I grateful for? What can I appreciate that happened? What was the simple moment that I experienced in my life? And how do I continue to identify those for other people? So a journal book with ideas and topic starters and conversation starters, idea starters to help you realize those moments in your own life.
Wow.
And if it's a journal, then there's a whole lot less I have to write. So I just have to write the start. A lot of people have asked for it. There's been truly a lot of people who've asked in the 7 Heart Stories, and I'm like, I'm going to get that done. I'm going to make that happen.
Well, that's good. That's very good. I got to ask you a personal question for me. Who else do you think I should have on for this interview process? We've actually gone through most of the questions. I have one more left, but Who else do you think?
I answered too short then.
Yeah, I know. You could have talked a lot longer. Who else do you think should I be interviewing for something like this? Now, I'll give you a little bit of time. I'll let you think while I talk. But I've interviewed people that are sales executives. I've interviewed CEOs. I've interviewed, every line of work. I mean, not every line of work, but I mean, lots of different lines of work where, it's the CFO that I've interviewed. It's, just a number of different people. It's not all C-level executives, sales executives, entertainers. Actually, I've interviewed very few entertainers. So this is a unique experience, but I would like to definitely do more of that. But do you have some ideas?
So yes, potentially. And tell me about your audience more.
My audience is about, my mailing list is one thing, but then I also have my Facebook subscribers that are active, and then LinkedIn subscribers that are active. I have a wide range of people, but most of them are middle-aged, which I consider myself middle-aged. I'm probably old, but I'm 53. So I'm thinking of individuals that are
Oh,
maybe in the middle or towards the end of their career, and just wondering what it is that they should be doing. What's their purpose? What is their vision? I don't know what my vision is, Brian. What can I do for the next few years? I don't want to just retire. I don't want to just sit on a beach. I mean, I can't sit on a beach. We don't have the opportunity to do that. So there's people like that. People like me, sort of.
I'm looking at my contacts like to see who jumps out for a second.
And I'll preface this because we're currently still being recorded. But
I'll sit back up then.
Yeah, no. I'll say that we can wait. You don't have to give me the names now, but after we're off the recording, we'll talk about it if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
So my last question is
this a softball or is it a hardball?
No, my last question is really it's a softball. What can I do to serve you? I know you probably get that asked all the time, but if there was something, take your misconception or take your conceptions of me and what it is that I have available to me, take those off the table and just whiteboard. If you had somebody that walked up to you today and said, "Hey, Jon, I love you're doing what you're doing. I'm really appreciative of it, and I would be willing to." If there was a one wish you have, what would it be?
Someone to take over and actually do something with social media for me. That would be one.
Okay.
Uh,
But would you trust anybody with your own social media?
yes,
Yeah?
I would trust some. My brand is very important to me, so there'd be some trial and error. Well, hopefully not error. There'll be some trial and trust. Get going. No, error not allowed. Wow, what something to help. That's to be me like everybody in this. Are we talking COVID time still? This is where we're at?
No, just
in general? Okay.
in general. Does that change your answer?
A little bit, yeah, it does. I think, like now, patience with people and kindness and what you've done to me, reaching out and, we all are checking on other people. And that kind of was first the novelty, I think, that people checked on other people. That's maybe a bad choice of words, but it was like, oh, we should probably do this. And then it became necessity, now it's really like, hey, this has been a couple of months. We have to check and take care of each other. And now I think there's some normalcy to it, just some regular one-off random calls. Hey, what's going on? You doing okay? And how can I serve you? What can I do to assist you? So that's, I think, important right now. And I need that. That's when I said in COVID time, that would be something that I appreciate and need. In terms of business overall, I always like to bounce ideas. I want people to believe in what I'm doing. And I think we also want to get the confidence that some of the new ideas, this works. This saying, okay, I get it. I get what you're saying with this story. Can you do it differently? I mean, if I have a program and I write a program, the first time I'm ever going to do that program is for a live audience, right? They've paid, or the client has paid for me to be there. I'd love to want to be able to test the material, and being able to test stuff would be something where I would like where someone could serve, that I could use some.
Okay. Sign me up.
All right.
I'd be happy to help.
Well, did you like the novelty, normalcy, necessity? I wrote that the other day. That's the first I've used it in any recorded presentation. There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
Novelty, normalcy, necessity.
Actually, I said it wrong. I think it's novelty. Take Zoom. Zoom was my perfect scenario. Zoom was novelty at the beginning. Yeah. Then it really became the necessity. We had to adapt and innovate and use new ways. And now it's a normal thing. There's how we've in what would have taken years our innovation cycle, because of our forced adaptation, has taken place in months. And it went from novelty to normalcy to necessity. Or I just said it wrong again. I wrote it. Maybe it should go the other way. There's the feedback. Here's the feedback loop. But I believe that. I think then there's a lot of things like that where we've been forced to innovate in such rapid fashion that new things are becoming normal so much faster than ever before. Mm. But I won't say the new normal. See, now I just said it. Don't like those words together. It's just so what it,
It's rather
current.
Working. Yeah. Okay. Well, Jon, again, thank you for coming on today and joining us on Winking with Wagner. Actually, we call the show The Land of the Blind. And the show is called The Land of the Blind because in the Land of the Blind, the one-eyed man is king, and that makes me king. But I'm not really the king. I'm just the guy, asking the questions. So I will continue to do what I'm doing, and I hope you continue to do what you're doing. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thanks, Brian.
All right. Take care.